This show sucked. This show sucked. This show sucked. This show sucked. Lol. So, of course, we were in the hometown in Rochester, New York for AEW Dynamite, September 29th, 2021. And they're gonna do another special Dynamite instead of just making a fucking pay-per-view to just excavate buys and get people interested. But, still, show's mad mediocre. They blow their wad with Adam Cole and Jungle Boy in the opener. How's that a good idea? Just for the sake of even trying to get any buys. So, at least the match was your average indie crap. He kicks out of the Panama Sunrise. Super kick out of super kick. A hurricane around him from the outside. Of course, Jungle Boy does the top rope garbage move. It was just completely average. It was an average opener. And it ended with Cole winning. Using, I think, another... He called it the boom. I think that's the sentiment for the Panama Sunrise. I thought it was an average match. It was your average indie back and forth match with a kid that obviously can't talk. Jungle Boy, I understand he can grow into something like that, but AEW has no promo classes. AEW has doesn't let the veterans that know how to do good promos, Christian, that if you guys don't remember, last time they were in a group promo, I not talked about his shit because I know he sucks. He comes over getting cut off Christian Cage because his boring ass 1.5 minute promo. Until Christian Cage had to keep it over on point because he actually has talking ability. And as soon as that gets excavated, the more that it doesn't matter when you have a good match when you're not over. And then after the post-match, Adam Cole gets the rest of the Elite out to celebrate, saying that, "Are you guys ready for the greatest promo ever? You can't be part of the Elite, Super Elite, if you don't have the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions and the greatest Tag Team Champions." And shut up. First of all, if you come around saying this is going to be the greatest thing ever, what you're about to say, it's already demeaning. Plus, it already exposes your promo. Kenny Omega trying to be monotone Triple H, speaking like an anime antagonist, sounding like a F word. Just, dude, he's everything like you don't want to be like. Because whenever you look at pro wrestlers, like you want to be them. They're like live action superheroes every week that come over on the road. They're over the top personalities. That's what they sell. Whenever they're on the road, they don't sell their work rate, they sell their personalities. You know who Hulk Hogan is. Any home you go into, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I know who Hulk Hogan is. I know who John Cena is." Because you can display their personality, and any kid can behave like them. They don't have to always do their move. You see them do the, "You can't see me," or the, "Brother," you understand, like, you get the gist. I'm not getting that off most of these mid-carders. And then it's like, "Come on, guys!" You think nobody's gonna come because everybody wants a shot on the world title? No, because they're all baby faces. They just have to band over with the Elite. And it's like, what's the sentiment with the Elite? They're taking over even though they haven't won all the belts. They don't do anything sentimentally abusive. They don't select any people that they want to be on the card most of the time. And even if they do, they don't even wrestle to begin with or even make matches to fit in their favor. Even manipulate the ranking system to even benefit the Elite more, like Adam Cole gets more shots for the TNT title, or the Young Bucks have more of a chance to get for the tag title. They don't make stories for that. It's just over the sentiment of, we're gonna be good heels. You know, this is a heel promo. You guys ready for that? That is some creep shit. Honestly. But at least not everything was creep shit. We had Arn Anderson acting like a badass after the Dante Martin and Matt Sydal, Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson match. So technically Nightmare Family. And we had crappy disaster kick. Top move after high top move. High top move. Cody Rhodes was getting a bit overwhelmed, and it ends with Lee Johnson going in for himself and getting the tag in, ending it with a Fisherman Buster. Really good looking finisher, I'm not gonna lie. So that's a win, but Cody Rhodes thought he was in big momentum, trying to call out Malachi Black again, with Arn Anderson stopping him out and saying that you already lost twice, already focusing on the stuff that's not important. You're soft, and he even bringing up, yo, your pussy ass would probably give him the keys, give him the money, and let him drive, just not hurt you. While I pull up with the 40 and cap his ass. That is goddamn badass. But it made Cody. He didn't even have a retort. He's a guy with a higher. He's a guy in the higher ladder in the business of AEW than Arn Anderson. I understand Arn Anderson's a legend, but it's always these legends having better promos. Remember when Jake the Snake Roberts came on AEW for the first time and made that Caesar promo where he buried the shit out of Cody? And call him a whining pussy. And the same thing happens with Arn Anderson. I understand this is trying to connect over with the Elite, and you want to force over that there's going to be a probable potential heel turn, because even his head coach is not even believing in Cody anymore, and he walks out with Lee Johnson, that boring nigga. Like, it just everything, like, we're displaying at least is some sentiments of entertainment that the older people are bringing more reasons to watch than the AEW originals, and that's depressing. Imagine if they bring Raven on AEW. They're just gonna get buried. Then we had Bear Country and whoever the hell Anthony Green is. It's a bunch of jobbers. Like, where's the rest of the guys that you originally signed? Where's Sean Dean? Where's the guys that you can actually have lose, but give him TV time for people to know who he is? Bear Country and Sean and Anthony Green are not even part of the. You have too much content, and you guys already don't even have much of an identifiable roster. This match was for no reason. It was with a violent crown, and then a coffin drop. I don't care. The only thing that got Moxley over was Wild Things. Other than him burying Japanese senior citizens, they have done nothing with Moxley since he lost the world title. To be honest, he had entertaining matches with Lance Archer, MJF, Eddie Kingston. Sure, it was a dragged out reign, but at least he looked like he was a star. He looked sort of like he was a star. I'm not gonna try to force over to your throat that he was like the most badass person in the show, but he showed some sentiments of, like, okay, he can be an important character on AEW until Kenny Omega lost it, beat him for it back in December. And then the whole thing happened with a Brody King sign after, I think it was Anthony Green, he hit with the Scorpion Death Drop. Match was completely basic. I don't even know why this had to be over on TV. They couldn't even sign Redbeard. They didn't even do anything over the sentiments of, like, oh, now the Dork Order have to be in an 8-man tag because we forgot the Dork Order we even affiliated with them against I forgot what Hardy calls his gay ass faction. He just has weirdo tag teams in his group. That's it. There's no identity. There's no personality change. It's literally an Helico, the Butcher and Blade, Jack Evans, whoever the hell this orange jobber is in the private party. None of this has their own motifs or mentality in line. All of these are scuffed, jaded 205 live jobbers against gay jobbers that would probably take a Joey Ryan dick spot with their mouths. Like, these guys are obviously not entertaining over the slightest, other than Brody Lee made them at least some semblance of serious. But it seems like their egos were getting in the way. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno were about to leave until Brody Lee's mom and -1 came over, telling him, put your pride on the side. This is not what you're fighting for. And it ends with them doing all their maneuvers. The Fatality, the Little John Silver, and Alex Reynolds combo. And after the win, it ends with them hugging, and then that's it. Honestly, I don't think I care. They also teased that Andrade needs a partner trying to get into Pac and challenge him and be probably a future contender for the tag team championships because the Lucha Brothers were busy in Mexico apparently because I see them with the AAA tag team belts. So that's it. I don't really care. I mean I want to care because Andrade looks like a TV. Looks like he can be part of a TV soap opera. So he looks like he has a face of TV. He just has no presence with him, bro. Like, there's no X factor in him because like there's no it factor into him because like he has no larger than life personality. He looks the part, but he doesn't do much. I explained about this in my Sucks video. Why he's not gonna do that well, even if you put him in a different company. And the Lucha Brothers are just there. The Young Bucks never issued over a rematch on Dynamite or some bullshit with their second year anniversary coming up. So you'd think that would come with a rematch clause or something to try to get the Lucha Brothers over, or at least something for FTR. They're trying to tease over another feud that I don't care about because you're just seeing a bunch of tag team feuds with no story. Honestly, I'm trying to get some sentiments of hype over this. Dan Lambert then with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky goes over America's Top Team, then bearing over the AEW crowd over the coattails of Chris Jericho on last Friday night on Rampage when they jumped him, and with one of their UFC guys giving him a knee to the face. And apparently it looks like Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page are part of, or either correlating with America's Top Team or just there. That's all I'm getting from all of this. So, it ends now with Bunny and Penelope Ford against Ty Conti and Anna Jay. Just there. And this, I guess, is a rematch from last week. And it ends with Ty Conti that they keep repeating. And they're like, oh, she knows Karate. Oh my gosh, she knows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She ends it with a sleeper hold. And that's it. Like, they're just generic chicks. Don't get me wrong, like, all four of these women are great-looking women. But when you have no dependent personality on them and, like, they're just there wrestling, it's a bland match. Like, this feud is already dragging over. There's no sentiment into this. If this was, like, Anna Jay and Ty Conti, like, going, like, probably being harassed or disrespected by Kip Sabian, or they actually do something to involve him or bring some correlation into why these chicks are feuding, because I don't get the shit why they're feuding. I really don't. I really don't. And then we had Darby Allin and MJF, where they actually had a good promo. I just didn't like when CM Punk just signified MJF being a dick as being a bully. These are grown adults. You don't call an adult a bully to another grown man. You call that a douchebag. You call that a dick. Bringing over his dead uncle over in the promo, trying to feel like there's a pinnacle of young stars here on AEW, saying Jungle Boy's there. Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and MJF is in the top. Calling himself number one and calling Darby Allin number two. Then he comes referencing over an incident involving the passing of his uncle and saying that he needed to take his uncle's spot. It was a good heatish promo. Made him sound like a dickhead. Commentary was trying to make sure that MJF was just an ill human being for that. And that's what you should be selling. You should be selling that your heel needs to get his ass kicked as soon as possible for saying something so disrespectful. And it ended with Darby Allin said, keep talking because you're not going to get in my head because you're not going to break me emotionally. And it ends with Darby Allin walking out the bigger man with MJF walking away. and it looks like we're gonna get over a future program. I guess this is fine because it's trying to show who's like the top future in the company. This isn't like, oh, who's the better wrestler, who had the better 5-star matches, or like we're done with the inner circle drama. Like MJF is trying to like focus on trying to get upper like upper card, but he's like this Michelin of just being a mid carder. Thinks that he doesn't always they don't always have more than like 2 to 3 people chasing the world title. They don't think because you have an entire roster of talent, you don't try to think who's going to be chasing the title, or you're the guy that I need to be for the ranking system. Like no one's trying to think outside the box of their primary narrative. Out of most of this is either who's going to be a better wrestler or some bullshit. I don't care. This was an alright promo though. This is better than the last couple promos we've got involving Brian Pillman Jr. So I'll give it that. But then we had, of course, Sammy Guevara against Miro in our main event for the TNT title. After Miro has been physically destroying his Guevara's friend, Fuego del Sol. So that's how we earned a title shot for this. That's literally how the feud has been going over on Rampage, and now we get a title shot. Miro looked dominant in some sentiments of it, countering him with chops, a boot. Sammy Guevara using a Spanish Fly, super kick, Enziguri, another super kick, 2 kicks, and then like Miro's failure to rip off the first turnbuckle was depressing to watch. Then the other turnbuckles, I don't even think like he got knocked over to a spot. Then Fuego, I didn't even know, like attempted to even get involved until he got kicked. About to attempt a game over, but he hits turnbuckle. Then it ends with Guevara hitting him with a go to hell, and then it ends with a 630 senton for the win. We finally got another TNT champion. I'll say that Miro's reign was pretty lackluster. I mean, sure, he is finally over the whole bullshit gamer big guy gimmick where they treated him like a joke. I just wish they emphasized more personality, and like he's trying to take down everybody that he sees as a joke in AEW. Like the only thing that I thought was going to be entertaining was like Lance Archer, even though there's guys like John Moxley he could have been feuding with, Hangman Adam Page. You know, they're like they keep sucking the dick over like most of their roster, and there's barely a variety of challengers. Like you had Miro just squashing over Fuego del Sol for 4 weeks until Sammy came to the picture. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind Sammy Guevara doing this, but imagine Brian Cage versus Miro. That shit I would have been watching. Now the match was fine. I just felt like this was an underwhelming way how to end it, and this could have been on. I guess, Rampage to at least sell over that show, because I don't care about Nick Jackson versus Danielson. Other than that, this show gets a 5, like a 4 out of 5, like a 4 out of 10, or like no matches intrigued me. I'm not teased over because we're near like 2 months before Full Gear, and I'm more anticipated for boxing fights. Wilder, we're like over a week until we get Wilder in Fury 3. Why would I be excited to see a second anniversary? I don't give a shit about Sheeta. I don't care about Soho. That Britt Baker literally buries like, you know, your theme song gets over. They weren't cheering you. It was the best thing said, because that's technically true about most of the people. Like Darby Allin, CM Punk. No, not Darby Allin. His theme song isn't that catchy to the fans. But CM Punk, Jungle Boy, John Moxley, their theme songs are over. Not them, because they don't have catchphrases. They don't do cool poses. They have no physical charisma to ever enlighten the crowd that they're the stars. Other than, like, Tony Khan marking over himself that he even got these guys. And still don't know how to get them over. Because he doesn't know how wrestling works. Other than that, That's it for me. This show is pretty disappointing, to be honest. Out of most of the show, I just felt like it was really disappointing. Other than the, and nonetheless, I just hope you guys had like at least some entertainment over me roasting the show. Thanks for watching. That's it for me.